The Galactic Council had made a fatal miscalculation. For 300 years they had pushed, prodded, and tested humanity's boundaries, believing the species from Earth to be soft, diplomatic to a fault. They had restricted human expansion, taxed their trade routes mercilessly, and dismissed their representatives with barely concealed contempt. Humanity had smiled, negotiated, and compromised at every turn. The Council mistook patience for weakness. Mia Chen stood on the observation deck of the UNS Retribution, watching the swirling nebula of the Andros system paint the darkness in shades of purple and gold. Her reflection in the reinforced glass showed a woman who had aged beyond her 32 years, sharp eyes that had seen too much, a jaw set with determination that came from losing everything worth losing. "They're ready. Commander." Max Rivera's voice crackled through her neural implant. Her second-in-command had been with her since the academy, back when they both believed the pen was mightier than the sword. The Battle of New Johannesburg had taught them otherwise. "All fleets?" Mia asked, though she already knew the answer. "All fleets. 7,000 warships across 12 battle groups. Humanity isn't playing defense anymore. 3 months ago, the Council had made their final mistake. The human colony on Epsilon Prime, a peaceful farming world of 8 million souls, had requested permission to expand their agricultural zones into unclaimed territory. The Council's response had been swift and brutal. Orbital bombardment. They claimed humans had violated obscure settlement laws buried in centuries of bureaucratic nonsense. Mia had lost her brother on Epsilon Prime. Max had lost his daughter. The Council thought it would break humanity's spirit, force them back into submission. Instead, it had done something far more dangerous. It had unified them. Every faction, every nation, every scattered colony across human space had spoken with one voice for the first time since leaving Earth. "Enough. Commence Operation Ragnarok," Mia ordered, her voice steady despite the storm in her chest. What the Galactic Council didn't understand was that humanity had been preparing for this moment since first contact. While they negotiated and smiled and bent the knee, human engineers had been reverse engineering alien technology. Human scientists had been discovering new physics the Council had deliberately kept hidden. Human soldiers had been training for a war everyone hoped would never come. The first day of the war, humanity struck simultaneously at 47 Council military installations across the galaxy. Max led the assault on the Kryn shipyards, the largest military production facility in Council space. His tactical brilliance was terrifying to behold. Where the Council expected brute force, he used precision. Where they anticipated human recklessness, he demonstrated cold calculation. The shipyards fell in 4 hours. Not destroyed, captured. Every ship, every blueprint, every technological secret now belonged to humanity. On day 2, Mia's fleet engaged the Council's Grand Armada near the Helios Gate, the primary transit hub that connected the core worlds. The Council had assembled over 20,000 vessels, confident that sheer numbers would overwhelm the human upstarts. They had forgotten that humans had been perfecting the art of war for 10,000 years before ever leaving their planet. Mia's fleet employed tactics the galaxy had never seen: swarming, maneuvers developed from studying Earth's insects, quantum displacement strikes that bent the laws of physics in ways that made Council scientists weep, and perhaps most devastating of all, cyber warfare that turned the enemy's own ships against them. The Grand Armada ceased to exist by nightfall. Day 3 saw Max and Mia's forces converge on the Council throne world of Zalanthor. The planet had never been touched by war, protected by defensive grids that had stood for millennia. The Council leaders broadcast from their gleaming towers, calling humanity barbarians, monsters, a plague upon civilized space. Humanity's response was delivered not through weapons, but through words. Max broadcasted across every communication channel in the galaxy. "You called us weak because we chose peace. You called us soft because we sought compromise. You mistook our patience for cowardice, our diplomacy for inability. But know this: humanity has fought wars that would shatter your comprehension. We have survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and the void of space itself. We are the descendants of persistence, of species that refused to die when extinction came calling. You awakened something you should have left sleeping." The orbital defenses of Zalanthor fell not to violence but to surrender. The Council's own member species, watching humanity's surgical precision and restraint even in total war, began to question why they followed leaders who had provoked such a response. On day 4, the council fractured. The Vryn Collective withdrew their fleets. The Thalassian Unity declared neutrality. The insectoid Zarak, long oppressed by council policies, openly joined humanity's side. What had been a galactic government for 2,000 years began to crumble. Mia stood before the council chambers on day 5, Max at her side. They had not come as conquerors, but as executors of justice. The surviving council members, those who hadn't fled or been overthrown by their own people, faced humanity's representatives not with defiance, but with fear. Why? Asked Council Prime Theron, his voice a whisper. Why stop? You could rule the galaxy now. Take what you want. Mia exchanged a glance with Max. In his eyes, she saw the same exhaustion, the same profound sadness that filled her own heart. They had won, but victory tasted of ashes. Because, Mia said, and we never wanted to rule anything. We wanted to be left alone. We wanted to grow, explore, and live in peace. You couldn't allow that. You pushed and pushed until we had no choice but to push back. This war is your legacy, not ours. On the 6th day, the Treaty of Terra was signed. The Galactic Council was dissolved. In its place arose the Federation of Worlds, a truly democratic alliance where every species, including humanity, had equal voice. No species would be restricted, no colonies would be subjected to arbitrary laws, and never again would might make right. Mia and Max returned to Earth, their warships transforming back into vessels of exploration and trade. Humanity had proven it could wage war with devastating efficiency, but more importantly, it had proven it would choose peace when given the chance. The galaxy had learned a crucial lesson. Humanity's patience was not weakness. It was a gift. And when that gift was thrown away, when patience finally snapped, the consequences would echo across the stars for generations to come. In the end, it wasn't human violence that shattered the galaxy. It was human restraint finally breaking. And perhaps that was the most terrifying thing of all.